Hey, how's it going? And today I just wanted to do a follow-up video to the video I just did on something cool kind of quick in LightWave, bringing in a spaceship. And so you might have to watch the first part of that tutorial to get to where I am right here, but we're just going to go into load object, and this is a spaceship that we brought in from TurboSquid. It dawned on me after I showed you that tutorial that when I bring this into layout, I had switched from standard materials to principled. We lost all the texturing on the spaceship, and I thought, well, what if somebody wanted to keep the texturing? How would you do that? And I thought I would just show you how you can do this, and this is just one way to do it, and of course I'm sure there's other ways. Of course there might be some other plugins that would make it quicker, but I'm just going to show you how you can do it without any plugins, and so you can kind of get this spaceship against a kind of make it look realistic and with a composite into kind of a background thing. Just kind of quick, dirty, and easy, and I'm not going to show you every single step. I'm just going to show you, and then I'm going to speed up the video just to give you the idea of how you could do this. And this is kind of interesting because you kind of have to use some detective work, and I'll show you what I mean in a minute. So we've got the object here and it's already saved, so we're just going to head and send it to layout. And like you noticed, it comes in pretty well textured. Everything looks pretty good here. It looks like all the maps are there, and it actually looks pretty good, and they made it look kind of weathered, and it looks great, actually, and OpenGL. Let me match my camera to the perspective here. Oops. And if I go into VPR, you'll notice it doesn't look anything like that now. And that's because we have some problems. Not all is good. I mean, actually, you could kind of keep it looking like that if you wanted to. Let me show you what we could do to get this looking like it should be looking. If we go into the surface editor, the first thing you'll notice is that we're all in standard materials. So we'll click there on the first one, and we'll shift and click and select them all. And then we're going to get rid of standard, and we're going to go to principled SDF. And that's what we did in my other tutorial. Just because the material looks better in the LightWave rendering engine, everything's gone. What I thought I could do is show you how you would, and it's a little time consuming to do this, but it's a lot faster than building the model yourself. And once you've got this done, you've got a pretty cool asset that you have that you can reuse. We're going to go back into the surface editor here, and one of the problems that we have is we don't know what any of this stuff is. So like blend 10SG, is that blend or whatever that is, BLM? I have no idea what any of this stuff is. So what you have to do, the only way you can really figure out what stuff is just go down the list and kind of do process of elimination. So I don't know that I'll do all of these, but I'll do quite a few of them. So all of these have pretty much been turned gray or whatever color that is. And it doesn't look bad, but it clearly looks like a model. We want to bring back the original texturing. One of the things, but we don't know what anything is. So what you can do is you can come over here to the color and then just pick a color like red and see what turns red. And it's kind of a weird way to have to do it, but you can see that that's those inner rings on those things. So you can, what you can do is right click and rename it and just call it something you'll recognize, like inner rings, motor rings, or something like that. And to do that one, like I said, there's a lot of these, so I'm not going to do each one, but what you can do is then change this to a unique color like yellow, and see that's the blades that turned. You see that? So this, you can right click and rename it and call it blades. Okay, the key is trying to just give them a unique color so it'll stand out on the craft. For some reason, these are their own little items there. I don't even know what to call those, so I'm not even going to rename those. Let's go another one, like a darker blue. I didn't see anything happen there. Yeah, I didn't see anything happen, so it could be interior, whatever that is. I did red again. I didn't know if you see that, but it was in those dots in the back. That came in the back. Primarily what I'm interested in is the engine cover and this main part, and I'll show you where we're going in a second here. Let's try green. If you don't see something turn colored, then more than likely, oh, see, it's that thing, whatever that thing is. So you could just call it a gun part. I mean, you could, name these whatever you want to name them, but you get the idea, right? You go through and you name each part and you give it a color, so you kind of know. You may not want to keep it that color, so you could just go ahead and change it black, but now at least you know what it is, so by changing the color of the items. So let's see what changes here. I'm looking for one of the bigger components I didn't actually even see anything change, so that's probably some interior part. Let's try this. Okay. Now this is interesting because this is the windshield, or whatever you want to call it. And for something like this, I mean, you can name it that, windshield. That one's kind of fun that we can mess around with. And I'll show you where we're going in just a minute here. I'm going to go ahead and speed through this part right here, so you get the idea of what I'm doing. I'm back. So I didn't rename everything. I pretty much renamed some stuff. Some stuff that you don't see could very well be interior things. It's going to focus on this tail wing, the wings, the engine cover, the main components here, not all this other little stuff. So I'll leave this other stuff just kind of as it is. And I just want to give you the basic idea of what you need to do to bring in the surfacing. So let's start with the wing here. If I click on the wing and I go to edit node graph, what we have to do is we have to type in image here and double click image. And double click this, and all of our, when we load in our object, it's all going to be here. So what we're looking for, I believe that is they're going to call this the face. I'm pretty sure that's called the face. Is that not the wing? Is that the wing? Wait. The wing is the face. No, that's not the wing. Sorry about that. It's going to be, the wing is this thing here, I think. I believe that's the wing, even though it's not called wing. And what we do is we just change the mapping to object UV. And then I believe we can just go ahead, close this. We can delete this standard one. And we can just connect the color to the color. And let's take a look at that. Now this is the wing. Now one thing I noticed, see how it came in, the wing. Now one thing I noticed is that this part over here is black. So what you have to do is down here on the surface editor, just hit double-sided and see how that took care of that. So I believe the normal somehow got flipped on there, but then it brought in the texturing. So it's a little bit of a process, right? But you go in here again, we'll go back into the edit node graph, and we can click this, go copy, paste, and then we can look for, is it the wing bump? I guess that would be the wing bump, right? We have object UV, and we would connect the bump to the bump like that. And so what you have to do is do this for pretty much every component. So I'm just going to do the main one. So we'll go to the engine cover here, go to edit node graph. I'm just going to do this a couple times to give you the feel of it. Double click this. We're going to go into engine cover, JPEG, and make sure we're on UV mapping, object UV. And we close this, and we just put the color into the color. And there's our engine cover. And then where I have the front part of the plane right here, go to image, and you just hook up all the images, right? So we're going to go to engine covers here somewhere. Engine cover right there. And we go color into color. We can copy this, copy, paste, double click this, and go into image, specular, okay. And we can put specular, I believe will be the Luma, into the specular. Wait, something's wrong there. I must not. Hold on. Oh, I don't have this on the object UV. Oh, that's not what I want, the engine cover. I want the face. Sorry about that. That's why it looks so goofy. And then this object UV. And then the specular here. This is not the engine cover. This is the the face specular object UV, and we put the luma into the specular. See what that looks like. Yeah. Right. And then we can, you just keep doing this. The last thing I'm going to do is, what I was going to show you is on this windshield, if you wanted, for this one, you can hit just preset, open preset shelf, and you could just do like wine bottle or something like that, a dielectric for that. Or maybe jade, let's try that one. Is that, seems like it should be darker. Hold on. So let's try simple glass. Yeah, something like that. And then this window frame is one that I might just make it black. So the window frame, we could just make that black. And this is a good way to just learn how surfacing works in general. And then the tail wing, where are we with that? Let me get a little bit of perspective here. And the tail wing is right there. And we'll go to image. And what is that? Is that this one? Yeah, I don't even know what that means. A Ripa Booma. And we'll just plug this in. And then you can plug in the bumps to the bumps and the other ones that you want to too. We pretty much are getting it there. Right, so that's how you would do it, but it's a little bit of a time-consuming process. I believe that this, let me try one thing here, the tail wing, let's try double-sided. Oh, that doesn't get rid of that. So now maybe another component part that needs to be fixed. You could also, if you didn't even want to mess around with some of this, you could just literally cut these off in Modeler if you wanted. I mean, yeah, that looks kind of cartoonish in those colors, so, but I'm just going to leave that like that is for right now. Let me just go ahead and change that to black, because that looks weird. That does look weird. Okay, so let me, inner rings, and we'll just make those black too. Okay, so we got that all, and you might as well double-sided on them. So there we go. And the only thing that's kind of weird is these, but that's okay. So that's how you would basically get the surfacing onto the model. Just go in there and do a little detective work. Now what I'd like to do is show you how we could make this look kind of realistic now. So one thing that we can do is take advantage of our environment light. So I'm going to put I have a backdrop scene I'm going to put in here. So I'm going to go into, let me see, make sure I'm on the light. And the thing that's great about LightWave with this environment light is it'll use the lighting from a photograph or video to illuminate the object. And so that really creates a lot more realistic image. So we're just going to switch to, I didn't mean to do that. What is it? Distant light? Okay. So we want the environment light, and then we got to right click here, add our environment, which is going to be my picture that I have. Double click on this, go to texture. This is just a regular photograph, by the way. Let me see, where do I have it here? It's this one right here. So I'll just grab any one of these images. And there's the image, and I'll put it on the Y, and maybe I will put it on spherical. Looking at that looks a little crazy. So let's do spherical. There we go. Okay, this is actually down here, this image. So when you do add the environment light, you want to turn off the use global down here. Okay, so, and then you can adjust the intensity of this light. So you can see however much more light you want on it, but you're getting actually the light generated from this photo on here, and it's really creating a nice look. Now, one of the tricks about making a 3D object blend into the environment is by having something that affects both the background and the object. And that can be any number of things, like a shadow, some sort of interactive element. And usually that's a shadow, but other things can work too as well, like lights can work. Like this lighting is helping to blend this ship into the background. But what we can do in LightWave real quick and easy is to just go into, we did this in the other video, we go into our render properties and we go to volumetrics, and we took the lighting, and of course it blows it out, but we're going to turn this way down. But one other thing I'm going to show you here is that you can go here and pick a color from the screen to be your volumetric color. In this case, maybe you want a color from the clouds. So let's see if I can get it even from here. Pick from screen, and I can pick in the clouds for my volumetric color. But it makes a nice little difference. And then I just might want to bump this up a little bit. Not very much, just subtle. I think the subtle is the key. And that's it. I think it looks pretty good. Now, the only other thing you'd have to do is just animate this going across the screen, maybe have those turbines turning, but you get the idea of how you can really, within LightWave, not in going into any other program, using the tools natively in LightWave to create something that really looked, I think, pretty good. Now, my next video I'm going to do is I'm going to try to add a flame coming out of the back of this, and there is a flame that we can use in one of the LightWave samples that come in. I just have to dig that out. But anyway, this was just a quick video to show you how quickly you can incorporate a model from TurboSquid and create something that looks, I think, cool. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I am going to be making some more videos on Fusion. And I think the more I look into Fusion, the more I actually like LightWave. Okay, thanks so much. I really, really appreciate it. Bye.